So, good day and welcome to day 5 of our breathing awareness, breathing practice challenges. So all week we've been just focusing on following our natural breath as much as we can. So we're going to finish that process off this week with a breath practice which will bring greater clarity, more focus. So what we've been doing over the last few days is we've been concentrating more around the center, the belly breath, maybe the chest and the belly breath, maybe the chest, the belly and the side ribs, maybe the whole of the torso. So yesterday, we focused a little bit more around the back. So we've kind of covered the main areas around the center of the body to kind of connect with the breath for varying ways that can support us. So today we're going to focus on this idea of how can we just get a little bit more focused and a little bit greater clarity. So for that, what I'm suggesting is we focus on the nostril breathing. And we're coming back to that over subsequent classes. So I know there's lots of people with respiratory issues, chest infections, colds, just feeling run down. So all this week, we've just been trying to keep a fairly soft approach to following the breath. And we've done that in different positions, standing, sitting, and lying. We're back to standing today, but you could sit. So again, what we do want is to be able to not collapse. So I'm choosing standing as a way to help support that sense of a little bit more space and freedom for the breathing muscles to work well. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on finding our breath through our nose. So obviously I'm talking, so I'm going to be breathing at the moment out of my mouth. So what we want to do is to keep the mouth softly closed. So we don't want the teeth to be clenched. We don't want the jaw to be tight. So we can keep that area soft, but we have our mouth closed if possible. If you take your finger just below your nostrils, you might be able to feel the in-breath and the out-breath coming through the nostrils. So it might look a bit strange. So just trying that out. Okay, so you may have been able to feel some air effectively going over the finger that was around the nostril area. So, and again, you might have been able to tell the difference between a warm breath and a cold breath, which tends to be, so the whole process of nose breathing actually warms things up. So we get a cool air coming in and a warmer air coming out. But you may or may not have got that. You may have sensed that one nostril is more, there's more flow going through one side of the nostril than the other. That changes over the days and it changes throughout the day, and it changes with individual, etc. So no problem with that. That's the way it is. We can work on that, equalizing that a little bit more in subsequent challenges. So without taking the hand there, just taking, I still quite like the hands on the belly, but you need them to be some supportive. So someone that hanging, you kind of end up again getting into a posture that's not comfortable. So it gives you a little bit more of an uplift. So maybe hands on belly, and we're just going to focus for a few rounds on noticing the in-breath and the out-breath through the nostril. So continue with that. Yes, really trying to pay attention to getting the sense of the breath coming in through the nose. So if you can't quite get it, just imagine. Yeah. So if you can get it just softly, you can imagine, you can visualize the air coming in and air coming out of the nostrils. So our focus is a lot higher up in the body. So it's a finer quality to the breath than maybe you would feel in your belly. Okay, so just for a moment, take your attention away from the nostrils and back to the belly. And then take attention away from the belly and back to the nostrils. And relax. So you might notice a difference in terms of energy or your connection or how you feel when you focus down and in, or whether when you focus up more around the nostril areas. And where, again, if you bunged up in the nose or you're struggling with coughing and things, all these breathing things become more difficult than they would when you've got some freedom and space there. But part of the reason we're doing this is to continually create that space and that opportunity for a fuller and ultimately a deeper breath, but we'll come into that in further challenges. So I tend to use that if I just want a break. So it's good to go outside to kind of get that feeling of sharpness and wakefulness. But it's also, if you can't do that, it's good to do that indoors. All these practices could be done outside. So just a reminder of that. If you're warm enough and can find some comfort, just have enough clothes on, you've got more space, you've got more air, you've got the air on your face as well. So enjoy, and I will see you next week. I will put each of the 5 challenges links on Saturday morning, so over the weekend you can choose to do one or more over the weekend if you haven't had a chance to do them. See you next week. Thank you for breathing with me.